The Starry Night, a gentle journey through Vincent's vision. Part 1. The birth of a masterpiece. Close your eyes and imagine yourself standing beneath a night sky alive with stars. The world sleeps, but above you, the cosmos dances. Tonight, we journey to a small village in southern France, to the year 1889. To witness the creation of one of the most beloved paintings in all of human history. Let Vincent van Gogh's Starry Night wash over you like moonlight, gentle, eternal, beautiful. Fact 1. A window at dawn. Vincent van Gogh painted the Starry Night in June of 1889. From his room at the Saint Paul de Morceau Asylum in Saint Remy de Provence. Breathe deeply and imagine this moment. Vincent stood at his window, looking east, just before sunrise. The stars still blazed overhead. The village below still slumbered in darkness. He had committed himself to this asylum voluntarily, seeking treatment for his troubled mind, hoping to find peace. And there, in that window, in those quiet morning hours, he found something else. He found stars that swirled like water, a moon that glowed like a lantern, a cypress tree reaching upward like a dark flame. He saw not just a landscape, but emotion made visible. The painting would measure only 29 by 36 inches, yet it would hold infinity. Fact 2. The imagined village. Look closely at the village in the Starry Night, and you'll notice something curious. Vincent painted it from memory and imagination, not from what he actually saw. The view from his window showed the Alpilles mountains and fields, not this compact village with its prominent church spire. The church steeple, so central to the composition, resembles churches from Vincent's Dutch homeland, not the Romanesque church that existed in Saint Remy. Vincent was painting more than a place. He was painting memory, longing, the village of his heart rather than his eye. We all carry such villages within us, don't we? Places that exist partly in reality, partly in memory, partly in wish. The painting honors this inner landscape, this geography of the soul. Let yourself drift toward your own remembered villages tonight, the places that live in you more vividly than they ever existed in the world. Fact 3. The troubled year. The year 1889 was both devastating and transcendent for Vincent. In December of the previous year, he had suffered a severe mental crisis, leading to the famous incident where he injured his own eye. He entered the asylum in May, bringing with him his paints, his brushes, his unquenchable need to create. His brother Theo, ever faithful, ever loving, arranged for Vincent to have a second room as a studio. The asylum was once a monastery, its walls thick and cool, its gardens fragrant with lavender. Vincent was allowed to paint in the gardens, to walk in the surrounding fields, always accompanied. But at night, locked in his room, he could only gaze through his barred window at the stars. Those bars appear in some of his other paintings from this period, but not in the Starry Night. In this painting, he gave himself freedom. Even in confinement, the imagination soars. Even in darkness, stars shine. Remember this tonight, that circumstances can limit the body but never the spirit's capacity to create beauty. Fact 4. The cypress tree. That magnificent cypress tree, rising like a dark flame on the left side of the canvas, became Vincent's obsession during his time in Saint Remy. He wrote to Theo that cypresses preoccupied him, that he wanted to make something of them like his sunflower paintings. In Provence, cypresses grew tall and dark, often planted in cemeteries, associated with death and mourning. But Vincent saw something else. He saw life, energy, upward striving. The cypress in the starry night reaches almost as high as a church steeple, connecting earth to sky, grounding to aspiration. Its dark form anchors a swirling sky, provides weight and stability amid all that celestial motion. Vincent painted cypresses as if they were alive, almost human, yearning upward towards something beyond themselves. We too are like this, aren't we? Rooted in earth, reaching toward sky, standing between matter and spirit, darkness and light. The cypress understands this. Rest in this understanding tonight. Fact 5. The swirling sky. No one had ever painted a sky like this before. Previous artists rendered night skies as flat, dark, perhaps dotted with small, precise stars. But Vincent's sky moves, breathes, swirls with visible energy. Scientists have since noted that his swirling patterns resemble turbulence in fluid dynamics, the mathematical patterns that appear in moving air and water. Without knowing the science, Vincent intuited the truth, that the universe moves, that even stillness contains motion, that energy flows through everything. He painted the invisible made visible. The sky isn't a backdrop. It's a painting protagonist, alive and dancing. Some art historians suggest Vincent was painting the Mistral, the powerful wind that blows through Provence. Others think he depicted his inner turbulence, his mental state made manifest. Perhaps it's both. Perhaps all great art is both, the outer world and inner world dancing together, indistinguishable. Let this thought comfort you, that your inner storms are not separate from the world's weather, that everything connects, everything flows. Fact 6. The moon and Venus. In the upper right corner, a bright crescent moon glows with extraordinary luminosity. Just to its left, an even brighter celestial body shines, likely Venus, the morning star. Vincent painted them both with radiating halos, concentric circles of light emanating outward. This wasn't realistic, but it was emotionally true. Haven't you seen the moon like this? Haven't there been nights when it seemed to pulse with its own heartbeat, when stars felt close enough to touch? Vincent painted not the astronomer's sky, but the poet's sky, not measurement, but meaning. The moon has watched over humanity since our beginning, constant companion, faithful witness. Vincent felt this companionship, this cosmic friendship. You are never alone beneath the stars. The universe keeps vigil. This ancient light has traveled vast distances to reach you tonight, light that left its source before you were born, arriving now, just for you. Receive this gift, this light from afar. Fact 7. The 11 stars. Count the stars visible in the starry night, and you'll find 11, though some art historians debate whether certain bright points are stars or part of the swirling patterns. 11 is a curious number, falling between the completeness of 12 and the divine perfection of 10. Some scholars have suggested biblical connections, referencing Joseph's dream in Genesis where 11 stars bowed down to him. Vincent knew his Bible deeply. His father was a pastor, and religious symbolism permeated his thinking even as his relationship with institutional religion grew complicated. But perhaps the number is simply what Vincent saw, or felt, or needed. Not every detail requires symbolic interpretation. Sometimes 11 stars are just 11 stars, beautiful in their randomness, their refusal to conform to meaningful numbers. Let yourself be free of the need for everything to mean something tonight. Sometimes beauty needs no justification beyond its own existence. Fact 8. The speed of creation. Vincent painted the Starry Night relatively quickly, likely completing it in a single session or perhaps two. This spontaneity shows in the brushwork, bold, confident, immediate. He didn't fuss or overwork it. The paint is thick, applied with vigor, each brushstroke visible and distinct. This technique, called impasto, creates texture, makes a painting almost sculptural. When light hits the surface, the thick paint catches and reflects it, making the painting seem to glow, to move. Vincent wrote that he painted quickly because he knew his mental stability was fragile, that he needed to work while he could, to capture visions before they fled or before darkness descended again. There's courage in this, working despite uncertainty, creating despite fear, making beauty with whatever time you have. You need not wait for perfect conditions. You need not wait until you're healed or whole or ready. Create now. Live now. The stars won't wait forever. Fact 9. The letter to Theo. Shortly after painting the Starry Night, Vincent wrote to his beloved brother Theo, describing it simply, almost dismissively. He called it a study of the night, mentioned it alongside other works he considered failures or incomplete efforts. Vincent often struggled to value his own work, to see what others would eventually see, to know what he created. He was his own harshest critic, always feeling his paintings fell short of his vision, that the gap between what he imagined and what he achieved was unbridgeable. How many of us live in this same gap? How many of us struggle to see our own value, our own beauty, our own light? The Starry Night will become perhaps his most famous work, reproduced endlessly, beloved globally, instantly recognizable. But Vincent never knew this. He died thinking himself a failure, an artist whose work would be forgotten. Let this remind you that your perception of yourself may be profoundly wrong, that your harshest judgments may be profoundly unfair, that beauty you cannot see in yourself, others see clearly. Be gentle with yourself tonight. You are better than you think. Fact 10. The color blue. Vincent used extraordinary amounts of blue in the Starry Night, more than in almost any of his previous works. Prussian blue, cobalt blue, ultramarine, layers upon layers creating depth and variation in the night sky. Blue is a color of distance, of depth, of mystery. It's a color of both sky and water, of vast spaces that invite wandering. Psychology tells us blue soothes, calms, invites introspection. Vincent painted a blue night not just because night is dark, but because blue was his emotional truth in that moment. Blue for depth, blue for yearning, blue for the infinite. Some nights are blacker than black, but some nights are blue, alive with possibility, soft with hope. Let blue wash over you now, cool and calm, deep and safe. Let it ease whatever tension you carry. Blue night cradles you. Blue dreams await. Rest now in blue, in depth, in the infinite gentleness of Vincent's sky. Drift now with these 10 truths. Let them settle like stardust. Let Vincent's vision become your vision. Let the swirling sky carry you toward sleep. Part 2. Vincent's Inner World. We return now to that small room in the asylum, to Vincent standing at his window, watching dawn approach. Let us explore deeper into the mind and heart of the man who transformed his pain into celestial beauty. Fact 11. The asylum's history. St. Paul de Morceau was once a monastery, its walls ancient and thick, built in the 11th century. By Vincent's time, it had become a refuge for those society called mad, those whose minds worked differently, whose visions others couldn't understand. The building sat in peaceful countryside, surrounded by wheat fields and olive groves, lavender and wild herbs scenting the air. Vincent had a room on the ground floor, with iron bars on the window, looking east toward the Alpills Mountains. He could paint in his second room, walk in the gardens under supervision, but at night he was locked in. Imagine being confined just when the world becomes most beautiful, when stars emerge, when the sky transforms into wonder. Perhaps this is why he painted night with such intensity. We treasure most what we cannot freely access. Beauty seen through bars becomes more precious, more urgent, more necessary. Tonight, you have the freedom to gaze at stars. Honor this gift Vincent could only glimpse through barriers. Fact 12. The Mistral Wind. The Mistral is a fierce wind that roars down from the Alps through the Rhone Valley, bending trees, whipping through Provence with almost violent force. It can blow for days, weeks even, driving people to distraction with its relentless power. Vincent experienced this wind during his time in St. Remy, wrote about its effects, painted its invisible presence. Some scholars believe the swirling patterns in the Starry Night represent the Mistral, that Vincent painted when made visible, air in motion, breath of the earth itself. The Mistral is cold and dry despite its Mediterranean location, clearing skies to crystalline clarity, making stars sharp and bright. After the wind, the night sky becomes extraordinary. Vincent may have painted the sky after Mistral, when stars blaze with unusual intensity, when the cleared atmosphere made the heavens seem closer. We all have internal Mistrals, don't we? Forces that shake us, that clear away illusions, that leave us stripped but somehow more able to see truth. Let your own wind settle tonight. Let clarity come gently. Fact 13. The morning star. That brilliant light in the upper right, brighter even than the crescent moon, is almost certainly Venus, the morning star. Venus is the brightest object in the sky after the sun and moon, appearing before dawn in the eastern sky, herald of approaching day. For centuries, poets and lovers have watched Venus, the light that promises morning, that says darkness will not last forever. Vincent painted Venus large, luminous, radiating circles of light that pulse outward like ripples in water. This wasn't astronomical accuracy. This was emotional truth. Haven't you seen Venus like this? That moment before dawn when one light dominates a fading darkness, bright enough to cast shadows, bright enough to give hope. Vincent was painting hope. Even in the asylum, even locked in his room, even battling demons others couldn't see, he painted the promise of morning. The morning star says, you have survived the night. Dawn approaches. Hold on. This message crosses 135 years to reach you tonight. Vincent whispers across time, morning comes. Always, morning comes. Fact 14. The village below. That peaceful village nestled in the valley, with its prominent church spire, its clustered houses, its sleeping inhabitants, exists nowhere on earth. Vincent created it from memory and longing, combining elements from Dutch villages of his childhood with the French countryside around him. The church spire is distinctly Northern European, nothing like the Romanesque churches of Provence. This was the village of Vincent's heart, the home he carried within, the place he could never quite return to. By the time he painted the Starry Night, Vincent had been wandering for years, never quite fitting anywhere, always seeking, always separate. The village represents belonging, community, the warm lights of home seen from outside. Notice how the village is dark except for a few lit windows. Most people sleep, secure in their beds, while Vincent watches from his asylum window. The outsider looking at insider life, the exile dreaming of home. Yet he painted it with such tenderness, no bitterness, only longing and love. We all carry such villages, don't we? Places we can visit only in memory and imagination. Let yourself return to your village tonight, where you are always welcome, always home. Fact 15. The thick paint. Vincent applied paint so thickly in the Starry Night that it creates actual texture, topography on the canvas. This technique, impasto, meant he used enormous amounts of paint, more than most artists would ever apply. He painted not just with brushes, but sometimes with palette knives, sometimes straight from the tube, building up layers that catch light, that cast tiny shadows of their own. When you stand before the Starry Night in person at MoMA, you can see this dimensionality, the way light plays across the surface, the way the painting becomes almost sculptural. Each swirl in the sky has actual depth. The cypress tree rises in ridges of paint. The stars are thick dabs of impasto. Vincent wasn't just representing texture, he was creating it. This is painting that demands touch, though of course we cannot touch it. It calls to our fingers, invites us to feel the energy he felt, to trace the paths his brush traveled. There's something urgent about this thickness, as if he needed to make the paint itself substantial, to give weight to visions others called hallucinations. The paint says, this is real, this is solid, this exists. Tonight, your dreams will be like this, thick with presence, substantial, real even when they seem impossible. Fact 16. The brothers' love. Theo Van Gogh supported Vincent throughout his adult life, sending money, encouragement, love without condition. Theo was an art dealer in Paris, successful, respected, yet he spent much of his income supporting his difficult, troubled, brilliant brother. Vincent's letters to Theo are among the most moving documents in art history, raw, honest, full of gratitude and guilt and love. Vincent knew he was a burden. He knew Theo had his own family to support, his own life to live. Yet Theo never wavered. When Vincent entered the asylum, Theo arranged everything, paid for the private room and studio, ensured Vincent could continue painting. The Starry Night exists because of Theo's love. Every painting Vincent made exists because Theo believed when no one else did. This is the invisible story behind every artwork, the supporters, the believers, the ones who hold space for genius to unfold. Theo died 6 months after Vincent, grief-stricken, only 33 years old. They lie buried side by side now, brothers in death as in life. Their headstones sit under living ivy, growing over both names, joining them. Tonight, think of those who have believed in you, those who supported your struggling, those whose love made your survival possible. They are your Theos. Honor them in your heart as you drift toward sleep. Fact 17. The color yellow. Vincent loved yellow, used it obsessively, painted sunflowers, wheat fields, cafe terraces, stars. Yellow was life to him, energy, joy, the color of wheat and sun and hope. In the Starry Night, yellow appears in the crescent moon, in Venus, in the village lights, in the brightest stars. But notice, the yellow here is softer than in his sunflower paintings, gentler, as if seen through atmosphere, through emotion. Night transforms yellow. Darkness makes yellow precious. Each yellow light in the village represents a life, a lamp lit against darkness, a human presence staying awake. The star's yellow speaks of distance, of light traveling vast space to arrive here, to arrive now. Vincent understood that yellow changes meaning in darkness. What blazes harshly in daylight becomes tender at night. What seems too bright in sunshine becomes exactly right under stars. We too change in darkness. What seems harsh about us in daylight's exposure becomes gentle in the softness of night. Let darkness be kind to you tonight. Let your rough edges soften. Let your yellow lights glow without harshness. Fact 18. The cypress's meaning. Cypresses in Provence grow tall and dark. They're shaped like flames frozen in wood. They are traditionally planted in cemeteries, associated with death and mourning, with a passage from this world to whatever comes next. Vincent knew this symbolism, yet he painted cypresses with energy, with life, with upward thrust. The cypress in the Starry Night doesn't speak of death, but of transcendence, of reaching, of the connection between earth and heaven. Its dark form doesn't depress but grounds. It anchors the swirling sky, provides weight and solidity, offers a vertical line among all those circles and curves. Without the cypress, the painting would spin away. With it, everything holds together. We need such anchors, don't we? Dark, stable presences that keep us grounded when everything else whirls. Not everything must be light. Darkness has its purpose. The cypress knows this. Stand like the cypress tonight, rooted but reaching, grounded but growing, dark but alive. There is strength in being the still point, the vertical truth amid horizontal chaos. Fact 19. The paint's origin. Every color Vincent used came from earth, from minerals and plants and stone ground into powder, mixed with oil to become paint. The blues came from cobalt, from copper compounds, from ultramarine made from lapis lazuli, the yellows from cadmium, from chrome, the whites from lead. Vincent was literally painting with earth, transforming stone and metal into sky, into stars, into vision. This is ancient alchemy. Matter becoming meaning, rock becoming beauty. When you look at the Starry Night, you're seeing pulverized minerals arranged with such care that they become more than themselves. They become emotion, become cosmos, become a window into one man's soul. We are like this too, made of earth, of elements born in dying stars, of matter that somehow learned to see itself, to wonder at itself, to create beauty from its own substance. You are stardust contemplating stardust. You are earth painting itself with life. Rest in this knowledge tonight. You are made of the same substance as stars. Fact 20. The umber undertone. Beneath all the brilliant blues and yellows, Vincent painted an undercoat of umber, a warm brown that would show through in places, that would give depth and warmth to the cooler tones. This umber ground is barely visible in the finished painting, yet it affects everything, creates richness, prevents the blues from going cold and dead. It's the secret warmth beneath the surface. This is technique, but it's also metaphor. Beneath our cool surfaces, beneath whatever face we show the world, there is warmth. There is brown earth. There is the ground of our being. Vincent understood this. He never painted coldly, never let surfaces become merely decorative. Everything in his work has warmth because everything came from his heart. The umber underneath is a heart beating below all the dazzle. Tonight, remember your own umber ground, the warmth beneath your surface, the earth that grounds your sky. You are more than your visible colors. Beneath everything, you are warm. You are grounded. You are real. Sleep now in this knowledge. The umber holds you. The warm earth catches you. Rest. Let these truths settle like paint drying, layer upon layer, building depth, creating meaning, transforming earth into beauty, transforming you into dreams. Part 3. The language of color. Now we enter the realm of color itself, where pigment becomes emotion, where hue speaks louder than words, where Vincent's choices reveal the language of his heart. Fact 21. The absence of black. Look carefully at the Starry Night, and you'll notice Vincent used almost no pure black. Even the darkest areas, the cypress, the shadows in the village, are made of deep blues and greens and purples. Vincent believed pure black was death on canvas, that shadows should be colored, that darkness is its own chromatic life. He learned this from the Impressionists, from observing nature, from understanding that nothing in life is truly colorless. Even night has color. Even shadow glows with subtle hues. This philosophy extended beyond painting into how he viewed life. There is no absolute darkness, no pure negation. Even in deepest night, color persists. Even in greatest sorrow, life continues. The absence of black in the starry night is an act of hope, a refusal to give darkness its dead finality. Tonight, as you enter sleep's darkness, remember it is not black but deepest blue, not absence but presence, not void but richness. Close your eyes and notice the colors that appear in darkness. They are there. Vincent knew. They're always there. Fact 22. The complementary harmony. Vincent structured the starry night around complementary colors, blues and oranges, yellows and purples. These opposites sit across from each other on the color wheel, and when placed side by side, they vibrate, they intensify, they make each other more vivid. The orange moon against blue sky, the yellow stars in purple darkness. This creates visual energy, movement, life, but it also creates balance. Opposites need each other. Cool needs warm. Light needs dark. Vincent understood this instinctively. His life was one of extremes, manic energy and deep depression, fervent hope and black despair. Perhaps he painted complementary harmonies because he lived them. The painting shows us that opposites don't cancel each other. They complete each other. They make a whole. You contain opposites too. Your highs and lows. Your strengths and weaknesses. Your light and shadow. They are not fighting. They are dancing. They are making you complete. Rest in this wholeness tonight. You don't need to resolve your contradictions. You need only to let them harmonize. Fact 23. The temperature of night. Painters speak of warm colors and cool colors, reds and oranges that advance and excite, blues and greens that recede and calm. Vincent's night sky is predominantly cool, blues that should theoretically feel distant and cold. Yet the painting doesn't feel cold. It feels alive, passionate, warm despite its coolness. How did he achieve this? By weaving warm colors throughout, those yellows in stars and moon, touches of orange and cream. By using warm undertones beneath cool surfaces. By painting with such energy that temperature becomes irrelevant. The painting teaches us that categories are approximate, that cool can be warm, that blue can burn, that rules are guidelines, not laws. Tonight, let yourself be paradox. Be cool blue that burns. Be calm excitement. Be peaceful intensity. Vincent's sky holds all these contradictions without strain. So can you. Contradiction is not confusion. It's completeness. Fact 24. The Prussian blue. One specific blue dominates the starry night. Prussian blue, a color invented accidentally in Berlin in 1706 when a chemist tried to make red and created blue instead. Prussian blue is intense, slightly greenish, capable of extraordinary depth. Vincent loved it, used it constantly, layered it to create the deep night sky. This blue has history. It's the blue of Japanese prints that Vincent admired. The blue of distance and longing. The blue that appears at twilight's end when the last light fades and true night begins. Prussian blue is night made tangible. When you look at the starry night, You're seeing this specific blue, this particular hue that Vincent chose from all possible blues. Choice matters. Specificity matters. The painting wouldn't be the same in cobalt blue or ultramarine. It needed this blue, this exact blue. You two are specific, not interchangeable, not generic. You are this particular combination of elements that exists nowhere else. The universe needed you, this exact you, not some approximate version. Sleep knowing you are precisely right, exactly the blue the world needed. Fact 25, the white light. At the center of each bright star, at the heart of the moon, Vincent placed pure white, not yellow white or blue white, but pure white, straight from the tube perhaps, unmixed and brilliant. These white hearts represent pure light, the essential luminosity before it breaks into color. They are the souls of the stars. The core truth. Scientists tell us that stars are incredibly hot, that they burn with fusion, that their light travels years to reach us. Vincent didn't know the physics, but he knew the poetry. He knew that light has a white heart, that beneath all color is colorless brilliance. That truth exists at the center. You have this white light inside you too. Beneath all your colors, all your moods and roles and presentations, there is essential you, pure, simple, true, the white light that is just you, before the world asked you to be anything else. Tonight, return to your white center. Rest in simple being. No color needed. Just light. Just presence. Just you. Fact 26. The village lights. Count the lit windows in the village. Small golden rectangles, maybe a dozen, warm yellow light spilling from homes. Each represents a life. Someone awake while others sleep. A mother nursing a baby perhaps. An old person unable to find sleep. A worker starting early. A lover staying up late. Vincent painted these lights with such care, each one a tiny rectangle of warmth in surrounding darkness. He knew about being awake when the world sleeps. He knew about solitude in darkness. These lights say, you are not alone. Others are awake. Others watch the night. Others know this particular loneliness that comes at 3 a.m. when sleep won't come and thoughts won't quiet. The lights in his painted village reach across 135 years to say, I was awake too. I watch with you. I know. Tonight, if you struggle to sleep, if you lie awake, remember you are one of Vincent's lights. You are a golden window in someone else's dark night. Your wakefulness has meaning. Your light matters. Others see you across darkness and feel less alone. Fact 27. The green undertones. Hidden in the blues, mixed with the night sky, are touches of green. Not obvious green, but hints, suggestions, the green that appears in deep water, in shadows under trees, in certain conditions of twilight. Vincent mixed green into his blues, creating complexity, preventing flatness. This is nature's truth. Blues are never just blue. They contain multitudes. The night sky holds every color if you look closely enough. Physicists speak of the electromagnetic spectrum, how white light contains every color, how the sky is every hue at once. Vincent knew this intuitively. He painted the fullness, the complexity, the everything at once truth of looking up at night. You too are not just one color. You contain multitudes. Greens hidden in your blues. Warmth hidden in your coolness. Opposite qualities coexisting. This makes you rich, not confused. Complex, not contradictory. Tonight, honor your hidden colors. The green in your blue. The unexpected hues that make you fully you. Fact 28. The brushstroke's direction. Every brushstroke in the Starry Night has direction. The sky swirls clockwise. The cypress reaches upward. The hills roll horizontally. Vincent painted with vectors, with movement, with direction. There are no dead areas, no flat zones. Everything moves somewhere. Even the village, seemingly still, has directional marks suggesting its solidity, its weight. This creates a painting that breathes, that lives, that moves even while static. Direction implies time. Movement implies life. Vincent painted time itself, change, the eternal flux. Nothing stops. Everything flows. The sky's rotation, the tree's growth, the world's turning. You are also in motion, even when you feel stuck, even when nothing seems to change. At cellular level, at molecular level, you are constant flux, constant becoming. The brush of time moves through you, painting you new each moment. Trust this motion. Trust this change. Sleep is motion too, not stopping but flowing into different consciousness. Let the brushstrokes carry you now. Fact 29. The color of memory. Vincent wasn't painting from direct observation when he created the Starry Night. He painted from memory, from imagination, from internal vision. This freed him to make colors more intense, more emotional than real. The sky could be blue. The stars could be brighter. The moon could glow more vibrantly. Memory doesn't preserve literal accuracy. It preserves emotional truth. When you remember important moments, don't you remember them in heightened color? Don't they seem more vivid than ordinary days? This is how memory works. Significance intensifies. Emotion amplifies. Vincent painted a remembered night, and so it blazes with colors realer than real. Your memories work this way too. The past you carry is painted in emotion, not fact. This isn't distortion. This is truth of a different order. Tonight, as you slip towards sleep, your day will transform into memory. What will intensify? What will glow? Let the important things brighten. Let the rest fade. Your mind knows what to keep vivid. Trust its painting. Fact 30. The final glaze. After the thick impasto dried, Vincent may have added thin glazes, transparent layers of color that modify what's beneath without covering it. A thin wash of blue over yellow creates green. A glaze of red over blue creates purple. These transparent layers create depth, create the sense that light passes through color rather than bouncing off it. The painting begins to glow from within. This is the final magic, the last gift Vincent gave the painting. Depth, interior light, the sense that the canvas is not opaque but window. You have this quality too. Your surface is not your entirety. Light passes through you. You are not opaque but translucent. When people truly see you, they see through to something deeper, something that glows from within. This is your final glaze, your accumulated experience, your gathered wisdom, your earned depth. It doesn't hide what you are. It enriches it. It makes you luminous. Rest tonight knowing you are not surface. You are depth. You are layered meaning. You are light passing through color, creating beauty, creating you. Let color wash over you now. Let it speak its wordless truth. Let it paint your dreams in hues that heal, in tones that transform, in shades that shelter. Part 4. The Asylum Days. We return now to St. Remy, to the rhythm of Vincent's days in the asylum, to the routines and restrictions that shaped his art, to the struggle and the triumph of creating beauty within confinement. Fact 31. The daily routine. Vincent's days at St. Paul de Morceau followed strict schedule. Morning wake at 6, breakfast of coffee and bread. Inspection by doctors. Morning exercise in the gardens, always supervised. Lunch at noon. Rest period. Afternoon painting if weather permitted. Sup at 6. Evening lockdown at 7. Lights out at 9. This structure provided both comfort and constraint. Vincent thrived on routine, needed it, yet chafed against its limits. He could only paint during certain hours, could only access certain locations, could only be alone within locked rooms. Yet within these boundaries, he created transcendent work. Perhaps limitation focuses vision. Perhaps constraint intensifies creativity. When you can't do everything, you do something completely. Tonight, consider your own routines, the structures that both limit and liberate you, the boundaries that paradoxically create freedom. Vincent teaches us that perfection isn't required for great work. He painted masterpieces while imprisoned, while suffering, while doubting. Your circumstances don't prevent your creating. They shape what you create. Work with what you have. Paint from where you are. Fact 32. The other patients. Vincent wasn't alone at St. Paul de Morceau. About 30 other patients lived there, men whose minds worked differently than society accepted. Vincent observed them, sometimes painted them, often felt kinship with them. He wrote to Theo about their shared suffering, their moments of lucidity and confusion. He didn't consider himself superior. He recognized his own reflection in their struggles. The asylum leveled everyone, rich and poor, educated and simple, all equally vulnerable, all equally human. This humility appears in the Starry Night. Nothing in it suggests the painter places himself above the sleeping village. He watches from outside, yes, but with compassion, with love. The lights in those windows matter to him. The sleeping people matter. We are all patients in life's asylum, aren't we? All struggling with our particular demons, all seeking peace, all deserving compassion. Tonight, extend to yourself the compassion Vincent felt for his fellow sufferers. You are not uniquely broken. You are humanly vulnerable. And that's enough. That's perfect. Rest in shared humanity tonight. Fact 33. The permission to paint. Not all asylum patients were allowed creative materials. Paints could be dangerous. Brushes could be weapons. Canvas stretches could be broken into clubs. But Vincent's doctor, Dr. Perrin, understood that painting was Vincent's medicine, his therapy, his reason to persist. So permission was granted. Vincent could have his materials, could paint in his second room, could work in the gardens. This trust was Vincent's lifeline. When darkness descended, when his mind turned against him, painting remained, the brush in his hand, the canvas receiving color, the act of creation pulling him back from edge to center. The Starry Night exists because someone saw past danger to necessity, because someone trusted that the healing power of art outweighed its risks. Who has trusted you like this? Who has given you permission to be yourself, to create, to express even when it seemed risky? Honor them tonight. And if no one has, give yourself permission now. You are allowed. You are trusted. You are safe to create. Fact 34. The view from restriction. Vincent's room faced east. He could see sunrise, morning light, the Alp Hills mountains, wheat fields. But he couldn't see west, couldn't see sunset, couldn't see the village at dusk. This limitation shaped his art. He painted what he could see, but also what he remembered, what he imagined. The Starry Night combines observed sky with imagined village, seen mountains with remembered church, reality with vision. We all paint from restriction. None of us sees everything. We all have our east-facing windows, our particular viewpoints, our limited perspectives. And that's not failure. That's the human condition. Vincent made masterpieces from his restricted view. You can make meaning from yours. Your limitations aren't obstacles to overcome. They're the frame within which you create. They give your vision shape, definition, particularity. Tonight, stop fighting your limits. Paint from your window, whatever direction it faces. The view you have is enough. Fact 35. The sound of silence. The asylum was quiet. No city noise. No street vendors or carriage wheels. Just cicadas in summer. Wind in cypress trees. Distant church bells. Bird song at dawn. This silence was both gift and burden. It gave Vincent space to hear his thoughts, which was sometimes wonderful and sometimes terrible. In silence, creativity speaks. But in silence, so do demons. Vincent painted through both. The Starry Night was born in silence, in the early morning quiet when even the cicadas slept. This kind of silence is texture, presence. It's not absence of sound, but presence of quiet. Tonight, in your own silence, listen. What wants to be heard? What creativity whispers? What beauty waits to emerge? The painting began in silence like yours. Let silence be fertile. Let quiet be creative. Let the night's hush become tomorrow's voice. Fact 36. The attacks. Vincent suffered severe attacks while at St. Paul de Morceau. Periods when he couldn't paint, couldn't function, could barely recognize himself. During these episodes, painting was impossible. Brushes forgotten, colors meaningless. But between attacks, in the lucid periods, he worked with fierce urgency, knowing time was limited, knowing darkness would return. The Starry Night was painted during a good period, when Vincent's mind was clear, when he could see and think and create. This explains its energy, its intensity. He painted knowing the window might close, knowing he had to capture the vision while he could. This is courage, creating despite knowing you're fragile, working while you're able, not waiting for permanent stability, but using the stable moments you have. You have your own attacks, your own dark periods, and you have your lucid windows. Paint then. Create then. Don't wait for certainty. Work in the light you have while you have it. The darkness will come, and then it will pass, and the light will return. Create in the light. Rest in the dark. Both are necessary. Both are holy. Fact 37. The letters continue. Throughout his asylum stay, Vincent wrote constantly to Theo. Long letters, detailed letters, letters describing what he saw, what he felt, what he hoped and feared. These letters are treasure, intimate records of an artist's mind. In them, Vincent analyzed his work, critiqued his paintings, shared his theories about color and composition. He wrote about the Starry Night, though not with special emphasis. For him, it was just another painting. One more attempt to capture what he saw and felt. He couldn't know it would become iconic. This teaches us humility about our own creations. We can't judge what will matter. We can't predict what will last. We can only do the work, make the thing, trust the process. Some paintings we labor over go nowhere. Some we dash off quickly become important. The Starry Night was painted fast, described briefly, valued little by its maker. Yet here it persists. Here it matters. Don't be too quick to judge your own work. You don't know what will matter. You don't know what will last. Just keep creating. Keep writing your letters. Keep painting your stars. Time will sort the rest. Fact 38. The price of paint. Paint was expensive. Vincent depended entirely on Theo's support, and Theo wasn't wealthy. Every tube of paint, every canvas, every brush represented sacrifice. Vincent felt this guilt deeply. He was costing money while producing paintings that didn't sell. The practical world said stop. Stop wasting resources. Stop creating worthless things. But Vincent couldn't stop, and Theo wouldn't let him. They both understood that some things transcend economics, that beauty has value even without price, that creation justifies itself. The Starry Night's materials cost maybe a few francs. Today, it's priceless, worth hundreds of millions if it could be sold, which it can't. The world's value judgment reversed completely. What seemed waste became treasure. Remember this when your work seems pointless, when your creating seems frivolous, when practical voices say stop. Some things have worth beyond immediate utility. Some things matter beyond money. Your creating matters. Your attempting matters. Even if no one understands. Even if nothing sells. The paint is not wasted. The time is not lost. The work is worth doing. Fact 39. The garden paintings. Between his episodes, Vincent painted the asylum garden extensively. Irises, roses, trees, pathways. The garden was his permitted territory, his accessible nature. He couldn't wander free, but he could paint these flowers, these wolves, these tame pods, and he made them sing, made them glow, made them matter. This is the artist's gift, finding significance in the available, making the mundane meaningful. The garden wasn't exotic, wasn't dramatic, was just garden. But under Vincent's gaze, it became worthy, became beautiful, became enough. You live in your own garden, don't you? Your own limited territory, your own available scope. It's not everything. It's not freedom, but it's yours. And it's enough. Vincent teaches us to paint what we can reach, to find our irises, to make our small territories glow. Tonight, appreciate your garden, however small, however limited. It's where your beauty grows. Fact 40. The summer light. June in Provence brings extraordinary light. Long days, clear skies. The sun's angle creating particular qualities of illumination. Vincent painted the starry night during this season, during these long bright days. The irony is rich. In the season of maximum light, he painted night. In summer's brilliance, he created darkness. But maybe that's when we can afford to paint darkness. When we're surrounded by light, we can explore shadows safely. When days are long, we can give attention to night. Vincent had light to spare that June, so he spent it on darkness. He invested brightness in shadow. He used his good days to honor difficult nights. Tonight, you do the same. In your stable moments, You can afford to acknowledge your instability. In your strength, you can honor your weakness. The light makes darkness possible to face. You're strong enough now to rest, stable enough now to sleep. The summer light holds you. Paint your night. Dream your darkness. The light returns with morning. Settle into the asylum's quiet now, its ancient walls holding you safe, its routines rocking you gently, its permission given. Create your dreams. Rest your mind. Be held by structure that liberates. Part 5. The Power of Brushstrokes. Minutes 81 to 100. Now we enter the painting's surface. Trace the paths Vincent's hand traveled. Feel the energy of each mark. Understand how gesture becomes meaning, how movement becomes emotion. Fact 41. The swirling technique. Vincent didn't invent swirling brushstrokes, but he made them his signature. Each curve in the starry night sky was painted with deliberate circular motion, the brush following the spiral, creating actual grooves in the thick paint. Stand close to the painting and you can see the brush journey, the path it traveled, the energy it carried. These aren't random swirls. They are structured, intentional, following patterns. 11 main vortices spin through the sky, creating rhythm, creating movement. Vincent's hand moved with certainty, with purpose. The swirls aren't chaos, they're choreography. Your life's apparent chaos also has pattern. Your struggles also have structure. What seems random turbulence is actually complex order. The swirls that confuse you up close reveal design from distance. Trust the pattern. Trust that your spirals have meaning. Tonight, let yourself spiral downward into sleep. Not falling, dancing. Not losing control, following the choreography your body knows. Spiral gently down. Fact 42. The short strokes. Look at the village and hills, and you'll notice Vincent changed technique. Instead of long swirls, he used short, choppy strokes, quick marks building up form. This creates different energy, different feeling. The sky flows. The earth sits solid. The technique itself distinguishes heaven from earth, movement from stability, dream from reality. Vincent understood that subject should determine stroke, that content shapes form, that what you paint influences how you paint. This is unity. This is integrity. When your method matches your meaning, when your house serves your what, power emerges. Authenticity appears. The painting teaches us to let our methods arise from our truths. Don't force square strokes on round realities. Don't impose inappropriate techniques. Find the gesture that fits your meaning. Your life needs its own brushwork, its own particular technique. Don't copy others' methods. Find your stroke. Paint your way. Fact 43. The texture story. The thick texture of the starry night isn't just visual, it's tactile. The painting wants to be touched, though of course we cannot touch it. This is painting that extends into our space, that is dimension, that is almost sculpture. Vincent painted with his whole body, not just his hand, his shoulder, his torso, his breath. The energy came through him and landed on canvas with force. You can feel this force. You can sense his presence in each mark. This is what makes art alive, when it carries the maker's energy, when it holds their breath. Your creations carry you this way. Your words hold your voice. Your choices bear your signature. Even when you think you're hiding, you're revealed in texture, in the particular way you move through world. This isn't exposure to fear. This is presence to celebrate. You leave your texture on everything you touch, your particular mark, your irreplaceable signature. Sleep tonight knowing you've textured the world. You've added dimension. You've made marks that matter. Fact 4-4, the directional energy. Every stroke in the starry night points somewhere, moves somewhere, creates vector. The sky swirls clockwise. The cypress flames upward. The hills roll left to right. Nothing is static. Nothing is dead. Even the seeming stillness of the village contains directional energy, suggesting weight, gravity, settlement. Vincent painted force, painted push and pull, painted the invisible made visible. Physics tells us everything is movement. Atoms vibrate. Energy flows. Nothing truly rests. Vincent intuited this. He painted the world as it actually is, constant motion, eternal flux. You are this too. Even in stillness, you flow. Even in sleep, you move. Your blood circulates. Your breath cycles. Your cells divide. You are verb, not noun. You are happening, not static thing. Tonight, surrender to your own movement, your own cycling. Let yourself flow through sleep's phases. Let the directional energy of your being carry you where you need to go. You don't control this journey. You participate in it. Fact 4-5, the visible hand. In the starry night, unlike in carefully finished academic paintings, you can see Vincent's hand. You can see where the brush landed, where it lifted, where it paused and where it rushed. This visibility was revolutionary. Traditional painting tried to hide technique, to create illusion so complete you forgot you were looking at paint on canvas. But Vincent made process visible, made the making matter as much as the made. This is honesty. This is transparency. The painting says, I am paint. I am canvas. I am hand moving. I am maker making. This truth-telling extends beyond art. What if we stopped hiding our process? Stopped pretending we arrived at outcomes effortlessly? Showed our work? Revealed our struggles? Vincent's visible brushwork gives us permission. Permission to be obviously made. To show our seams. To let our process be visible. You don't need to pretend you're effortless. You're allowed to be obviously constructed, clearly human, visibly trying. This is not weakness. This is authentic strength. Fact 4-6, the paint's thickness. In some areas of the Starry Night, the paint is so thick it casts actual shadows. When gallery lights hit the surface, tiny shadows appear, creating additional dimension, additional complexity. The painting changes with the light. Morning light reveals different textures than afternoon. Evening light creates different shadows in midday. The painting is never the same twice. It lives in time. It changes with conditions. It responds to its environment. You are like this. You change with light, with circumstances, with who's watching, with when you're seen. This isn't inconsistency. This is responsiveness. This is being alive. Dead things don't change with light. Living things do. The painting's thickness makes it mortal, makes it vulnerable, makes it real. Your thickness, your accumulated layers, your build-up of experience, this makes you real too. Not flat, not simple, not reducible to single reading. Complex, textured, real. Sleep in your thickness tonight, your accumulated depth, your layered self. Fact 4-7, the rhythm of application. If you could watch Vincent paint, you'd see rhythm, fast sections and slow, areas attacked with vigor and areas approached with care. The sky was probably painted quickly, in passionate urgency. The village more slowly, with more deliberation. The cypress with particular attention. Each element has its own tempo. Together they create symphony, fast and slow, urgent and careful, passionate and thoughtful. This rhythm matters. This variation creates interest, creates breath. All one tempo would exhaust, would bore, would flatten. Life needs rhythm too, needs fast days and slow, needs urgent times and careful times, needs variation. You can't always be fast, can't always be slow. You need both. You need rhythm. Tonight marks slow tempo, rest tempo, the adagio of sleep, but tomorrow might need allegro, might need presto. Trust your rhythm, trust your tempo. The painting needed both. So do you. Fact 48, the imperfect circles. The swirls in the sky aren't perfect circles. They are organic, slightly irregular, human. If Vincent had used a compass, if he'd made them geometrically perfect, they'd be dead, lifeless. But these circles wobble. These spirals vary. This is life. This is handmade. This is human touching canvas. Perfection is for machines, for computers, for things without soul. Imperfection is for the living, for the feeling, for those who care enough to try despite inability to achieve flawlessness. Your circles wobble too. Your attempts aren't perfect. Your efforts show strain. This is not failure. This is proof of life. This is evidence of care. Only someone trying makes mistakes. Only someone caring falls short. Vincent's imperfect circles are more moving than any perfect geometry could be. Your imperfect attempts are more valuable than others' easy perfection. Sleep tonight releasing perfectionism, embracing your beautiful wobbles, your human irregularities, your living imperfection. Fact 49, the lost details. Time and deterioration have claimed some of Vincent's finest details. Tiny brushstrokes that once articulated forms. Subtle color variations that created depth. The painting we see today is not exactly what Vincent finished. It's older, more weathered, changed by time and light and air. Some might mourn this loss, but perhaps it teaches us about impermanence, about accepting change, about loving what remains rather than grieving what's gone. The essential Starry Night survives. The power persists. The beauty endures. Even diminished, even altered, it moves us. It speaks. It matters. You've lost details too. Earlier versions of yourself. Abilities you once had. Aspects time has claimed. This is not tragedy. This is time. What matters about you persists. What's essential endures. You are still you, still valuable, still beautiful, even with what's been lost. The painting promises this. Sleep tonight trusting what remains is enough. What endures is you. Fact 50, the final stroke. Somewhere on this canvas, Vincent made his last mark, lifted his brush for the final time and said, "Done." Or perhaps, "Done enough." We don't know where this final stroke landed. Was it a star? A swell? A village window? Vincent didn't sign the painting in the image itself, so that wasn't the final mark. Somewhere, some final gesture completed it, transformed it from becoming to being, from process to product. You make final strokes too, moments when you say, "Enough," when you finish, when you let go, when you allow the becoming to rest in being. Not everything needs to be finished. Not everything needs to be perfect. Sometimes you just need to lift the brush, to say, this is where I stop. This is what I've made. The Starry Night could have had more detail, more refinement, more time. But Vincent stopped, and in stopping, he gave us completion. Not perfection, completion. Tonight, practice this. Stop trying. Stop refining. Stop perfecting. Just be. Just rest. Just let the day's painting be complete. You've made your marks today. You've applied your colors. Now lift the brush. Be done. Sleep. The painting is enough. The day is enough. You are enough. Rest now in the rhythm of brush strokes, in the dance of hand on canvas, in the perfect imperfection of human making. Let the swirls carry you gently down into the deep blue night. Part 6. Legacy and Influence. Minutes 101 to 120. We cross now into the painting's afterlife, its journey from Vincent's easel to the world's heart, how this small canvas escaped obscurity and became beloved by millions. Fact 51. The first owner. When Vincent left St. Remy in May 1890, the Starry Night went with him, rolled up, transported to Overseas where he would spend his final months. After his death in July, the painting passed to Theo, who died just 6 months later, then to Theo's widow, Jo Bonner, who became Vincent's champion. Jo worked tirelessly to promote Vincent's art, organizing exhibitions, selling paintings, building his reputation. Without Jo, the Starry Night might have disappeared, might have been lost, might have molded in storage. But Jo believed, Jo persisted, Jo ensured the world would see. This is Legacy's truth. It depends on champions, on believers, on those who hold the work when the maker cannot. Someone believed in the Starry Night before the world did. Someone held it safe. Someone said, this matters. You need champions too. People who believe in you when you cannot believe in yourself. Who hold your value when you've lost sight of it. Who say, you matter, even when you doubt, especially when you doubt. Tonight, thank your champions, your Joes, your believers, and consider whose champion are you, who needs you to hold their value. Fact 52. The journey to MoMA. The Starry Night changed hands several times before finding its permanent home. Bought and sold, crossing oceans, moving through collections. In 1941, it was acquired by the Museum of Modern Art in New York, where it has remained ever since. MoMA's walls have become its final resting place, its forever home. Millions visit it there, stand before it, photograph it, weep before it. The painting that began in an asylum in Provence now lives in Manhattan. The view from a locked window now hangs in one of the world's great museums. Vincent could never have imagined this, never dreamed his night sky would cross the Atlantic, would find such honor, such attention, such love. Your journeys are unpredictable too. You cannot know where you'll end up, what honors await, what unexpected destinations. The asylum wasn't Vincent's end. It was a station on the way. Your current situation isn't your destination. It's part of your journey. You're traveling toward places you cannot yet imagine. Trust the journey. Trust the movement. The painting found its home. You will too. Fact 53. The reproduction revolution. The Starry Night may be the most reproduced painting in history. It appears on coffee mugs and shower curtains, T-shirts and tote bags, posters in dorm rooms and prints in hospitals. Some critics lament this ubiquity, claiming it cheapens the original. But perhaps it's democratization. Perhaps it's love made accessible. Vincent wanted his art to reach people, wanted it to comfort and inspire. The reproductions do this. They bring his vision into ordinary lives, into everyday spaces. A student sees it daily. A patient finds peace in it. A child grows up with those swirling stars. This is success, not failure. This is art fulfilling its purpose, not betraying it. Your gifts deserve wide distribution, too. Don't hold them precious. Don't restrict access. Let them multiply. Let them reproduce. Let them reach whoever needs them however they can. Ubiquity isn't degradation. It's generosity. It's love shared freely. Fact 54. The pop culture icon. The Starry Night has entered collective consciousness. It appears in movies and music videos, in advertising and animation. Don McLean sang about it in Vincent, painting word pictures of starry nights. Doctor Who featured it. Loving Vincent, an entire film animated in Vincent style. The painting has transcended art history. It's become cultural shorthand. Reference everyone understands. When you invoke swirling skies, everyone knows. When you mention starry nights, everyone sees. This is a kind of immortality. Not just existing, but meaning. Not just surviving, but signifying. The painting has become language, has become shared vocabulary. You contribute to shared vocabulary too. The phrases you coin, the ideas you spread, the perspectives you offer. You're making meaning others will reference, adding to the collective conversation. Your contributions matter even when anonymous, even when uncredited. The painting is Vincent's, but it's also ours now, belongs to everyone. Your gift become everyone's too. Fact 55. The scientific interest. Scientists study the Starry Night with fascination. Astronomers debate whether Vincent painted actual celestial configurations from June 1889. Fluid dynamics experts analyze his swirling patterns, finding they match mathematical models of turbulence. Physicists see in his sky the same patterns that appear in Jupiter's atmosphere, in hurricane spirals, in cream stirred into coffee. Vincent intuited patterns science would later formalize. His artist's eye saw what instruments would eventually measure. Art and science aren't opposites. They are different approaches to same truth, different languages describing one reality. Vincent painted what physicists would later calculate. This validates both approaches. Art isn't mere decoration. It's investigation. It's research. It's truth-seeking through different means. Your creative intuitions aren't frivolous. They are valid knowing. Trust your artist's eye. Trust your non-analytical perception. You see truths that instruments miss. You know things that data doesn't capture. Sleep tonight trusting all your ways of knowing. The scientist and the artist in you both see truly. Fact 56. The therapeutic presence. The Starry Night hangs in hospitals and therapists' offices. It appears in psychiatric wards and treatment centers. Healthcare providers recognize its power, its capacity to calm, to inspire, to offer hope. A painting born in mental illness becomes medicine for mental illness. Vincent's suffering transformed becomes others' healing. This is alchemy. This is redemption. This is meaning wrested from pain. Your suffering isn't wasted either. Your struggles aren't meaningless. The darkness you survive becomes light for others. The pain you've transformed becomes others' medicine. Vincent couldn't heal himself, but his work heals millions. Your unfinished healing still heals. Your imperfect recovery still recovers others. You don't have to be whole to make wholeness. You don't have to be healed to offer healing. The painting promises this. Broken things make beauty. Wounded healers heal. Your pain has purpose. Your struggle has meaning. Sleep in this knowledge tonight. Fact 57. The influence on artists. Countless artists cite the Starry Night as inspiration. It changed what seemed possible. Changed what night could look like. Changed what emotion could do on canvas. After Vincent, sky could swirl. Stars could glow. Night could sing. He expanded the vocabulary. Gave permission for subjective vision. For emotional truth over optical accuracy, for feeling over fact. Every artist painting expressive night skies, every creator prioritizing emotion over realism, stands in Vincent's debt. He opened a door they walk through. Your influence extends beyond what you see too. Your permissions given, your examples offered, your courage to be different. Others watch. Others notice. Others take courage from your courage. Take permission from your breaking rules. You don't know who you're influencing. Don't know whose possibilities you're expanding. But you are. Simply by being authentically yourself, simply by creating from your truth, you give others permission. The painting influenced millions. You influence your dozens, your hundreds. This is enough. This matters. Fact 58. The auction that never happened. The Starry Night has never been auctioned, never been sold at market. It's priceless in the literal sense. No price has been set. Experts estimate it would sell for $500 million, perhaps more, perhaps $1 billion. But MoMA will never sell it. It belongs to humanity now. To everyone and no one. This is as it should be. Some things transcend economics. Some beauty can't be owned. The painting exists for viewing, not possessing. For experiencing, not acquiring. You are like this too. Your value can't be measured in monetary terms. Your worth transcends economic calculation. You exist for being, not for having. For experiencing, not for possessing. Don't let anyone reduce you to your economic function, to your earning potential, to your market value. You're priceless. Literally, no adequate price exists. The world is richer for your presence, but this richness can't be calculated. Sleep tonight knowing you're beyond price, priceless in the truest sense. Fact 59. The pilgrimages. People travel from around the world to stand before the Starry Night. Save money. Plan trips. Cross continents. All to spend a few minutes before this particular canvas. They cry before it. Propose before it. Bring their children to see it. Take photographs they'll treasure forever. The painting has become pilgrimage site. Sacred destination, place where something shifts, where people feel touched by transcendence, where ordinary becomes extraordinary for a moment. What is this but love? What is pilgrimage but honoring what matters? The painting receives its devotion humbly, continues offering what it has always offered. Beauty, mystery, connection. You deserve pilgrimage too. You deserve to be sought, to be honored, to be visited with intention. You are worth the journey, worth the attention, worth the devotion. Don't settle for being taken for granted. You're pilgrimage worthy. The painting teaches this. What gets devoted attention gives devoted gift. Receive tonight what you deserve. Deep attention, real presence, devoted rest. Fact 60. The living presence. The most remarkable fact about the Starry Night is that it lives. It's not historical artifact, not dead relic, not museum piece only. It breathes, it speaks, it continues offering new meanings to each generation, each viewer, each moment. A teenager sees rebellion in it. An elderly person sees memory. A depressed soul sees hope. A joyful spirit sees confirmation. The painting is endlessly generous, endlessly giving. It never exhausts its gifts, never runs dry, never stops offering. This is ART's miracle, that it lives beyond its maker, that it keeps giving when the giver is gone, that it speaks new words in new times while remaining itself. You have this capacity too, to give beyond your intention, to mean more than you realize, to live beyond your lifetime. What you create, what you offer, what you give continues echoing, continues rippling, continues living. The painting promises this. Your influence outlives you. Your gifts keep giving. Your presence persists. Sleep knowing you're creating legacy, making ripples, living beyond yourself. The Starry Night Vincent painted still glows. The light you're making will glow too. Feel yourself becoming legacy now, becoming gift, becoming presence that persists. The painting in you lives on. The stars in you keep shining. Your night sky glows eternal. Part 7. The Emotional Landscape. We enter now the painting's heart, the emotional truth beneath the visual beauty, the feelings Vincent channeled, the human yearning that makes this more than pretty picture. Fact 61. The loneliness. Vincent painted the Starry Night alone, in his locked room, at hours when the world slept. This loneliness permeates the canvas. The single cypress stands apart. The village sleeps unconscious. The watchers see from outside, from distance, from separation. Vincent knew profound loneliness, the isolation of being different, of seeing differently, of feeling too much. The painting is loneliness made visible. Yet strangely, it comforts lonely people, because seen loneliness is less lonely, because shared solitude is less isolating. When you look at the Starry Night, you're not alone with your loneliness. Vincent is there with you. Every other lonely viewer is there. Millions of solitudes touching. This is a paradox that expressed loneliness creates connection, that painted isolation brings together. Tonight, if you feel alone, remember the painting. Remember Vincent watching from his window. You're not the first to watch the night alone. You're not the last. You're part of a great company of solitary watchers. And in that company, you're not alone. Loneliness shared becomes communion. Fact 62. The yearning. Everything in the Starry Night reaches upward. The cypress flames toward sky. The church spire points heavenward. The very hills seem to lift. And those swirling stars, they pull the eye up and up and up. This is yearning made visible. This is longing painted. Vincent yearned for many things. For sanity, for acceptance, for love, for peace, for recognition, for home, for heaven, for something beyond the pain of earthly existence. The painting is pure yearning, pure reaching, pure desire for transcendence. You know this yearning. You feel this reaching. Some part of you always strains upward, always seeks beyond, always wants more than this. This isn't ingratitude. This is being human. This is being spiritual, being in physical world. The yearning is holy. The reaching is right. Don't suppress it. Don't shame it. Paint it like Vincent. Let it lift your eyes. Let it carry your heart. Let it pull you toward whatever more you sense but cannot name. Tonight, let yearning soften into hope. Let reaching relax into trust. You don't have to arrive. Yearning itself is enough. Reaching itself is prayer. Fact 63. The peace beneath turbulence. Despite all the swirling motion, despite the apparent chaos in the sky, the starry night feels peaceful, calm, almost meditative. How does Vincent achieve this? How does he make turbulence tranquil? Perhaps because the turbulence is organized, is patterned, is beautiful. Chaos that has structure becomes dance. Storm that has rhythm becomes music. Vincent shows us that internal turbulence needn't destroy peace, that you can swirl and still be centered, that motion and calm can coexist. Your anxious mind, your swirling thoughts, your spiraling worries, these don't preclude peace. Peace doesn't mean flat calm. Peace means beautiful pattern in the chaos, meaning in the motion, purpose in the spiraling. The painting promises this. Your turbulence is paintable. Your chaos is beautiful. Your swirling has pattern even when you can't see it. Let the swirls be. Stop fighting them. They're not destroying your peace. They're expressing your life. Sleep tonight in swirling peace, in turbulent calm, in the beautiful chaos of being alive. Fact 64. The hope in darkness. Vincent painted night, but not despair. Darkness, but not hopelessness. The starry night is dark painting that radiates light, that glows with internal luminosity, that proves darkness can be beautiful, can be comforting, can be safe. This is profound hope. This is faith in the dark. Vincent painted this while suffering, while imprisoned, while doubting. Yet he made darkness glow, made night sing, made the stars proclaim beauty. This is courage. This is choosing to see light even in legitimate darkness. Even in real night, you live in your own darkness sometimes, your own night seasons, your own periods when light seems far away. The painting whispers, darkness is not the end. Darkness is not empty. Darkness has its own luminosity, its own beauty, its own gifts. Don't just enjoy your darkness. Look for its stars. Find its particular beauty. Paint its unique glow. Vincent did. You can too. The night is not your enemy. It's your canvas. Fact 65. The memory of home. That village with its northern European church, those forms that belong to Vincent's Dutch childhood, speak of memory, of home, of roots. Vincent was far from home when he painted this, far from family, far from familiar. The village's longing made architecture. Homesickness made paint. We all carry such villages, such memory places, such ghost homes we can visit only in imagination. As we age, as we wonder, as life carries us from origins, these memory places become more precious, more luminous, more holy. They exist now partly in reality, partly in longing, partly in past, partly in wish. The painting honors this, doesn't shame the homesickness, doesn't mock the backward glance, allows the memory village its glow, its steeple, its warm windows. Tonight, visit your memory village, the place you came from, the home you carry, not to live there, you can't return, but to honor it, to let it glow in your night sky, to acknowledge a continued presence in your internal landscape. Home lives in you even when you've left it. The village glows even from distance. Fact 66. The validation of feeling. Vincent painted feelings as realities, emotions as facts, internal experience as truth. This was revolutionary. Traditional painting depicted external reality, what could be verified, what cameras would capture. But Vincent painted what couldn't be photographed, what only feeling sees, what only emotion knows. The sky doesn't objectively swirl, but subjectively, emotionally, experientially, it does. Vincent validated subjective experience, said, your feelings are real, your internal reality matters, your subjective truth is truth. This permission is gift. In a world that often dismisses feelings, that demands objective proof, that privileges measurable over felt, the painting says, what you feel is real. Your experience counts. Your internal landscape is valid landscape. Tonight, believe your feelings. Trust your experience. You're not crazy for seeing what others don't. You're not wrong for feeling what instruments don't measure. You're human. You're alive. You're seeing truly, just subjectively. The painting validates you. Vincent says, I see it too. You're not alone in your vision. Fact 67. The beauty in struggle. The Starry Night was painted during struggle, created in confinement, made while suffering. Yet it's beautiful, transcendently beautiful. This is a teaching that struggle can birth beauty, that pain can create glory, that suffering isn't wasted if transformed. Vincent transformed his pain, channeled his chaos, made his darkness luminous. You can do this too. Your struggles aren't meaningless. Your pain isn't purposeless. Your darkness can become your canvas. Not that suffering is good. It's not. Not that pain should be sought. It shouldn't. But that when suffering comes, when pain arrives, when darkness descends, it can be material, can be paint, can be transformed into something that helps, that heals, that illuminates. Vincent's suffering gave us the Starry Night. Your suffering can give birth to beauty too. Not someday when you're healed. Now, in the midst, while still hurting. The painting was made while wounded. So can your beauty be. Don't wait for wholeness to create. Create from your fragments. Beauty doesn't require perfect circumstances. It requires honest expression. Fact 68. The question of madness. Was Vincent mad when he painted this? Was this vision illness or insight? The question is wrongly framed. The swirling sky isn't hallucination. It's interpretation. It's emotional truth. It's subjective reality. But even if it were hallucination, even if it emerged from illness, does that diminish it? Does that make it less true? Less beautiful? Less valuable? Perhaps madness and genius aren't opposites. Perhaps they are neighbors. Perhaps the same sensitivity that brings suffering also brings vision. Perhaps the same mind that breaks also sees. This doesn't romanticize illness, doesn't make mental suffering desirable, but it does refuse to invalidate what emerges from struggle. Vincent's vision was real. His sky is true. His beauty is legitimate, whatever its source. You don't have to be normal to be valid. Don't have to be conventionally sane to see truly. Your different perception might be your gift. Your unusual vision might be your offering. The world needs what you see, even if, especially if, you see differently. Tonight, honor your particular vision, your unique sight. Mad or sane, you see beauty. You see truth. That's enough. Fact 6 to 9. The comfort of darkness. Why do people find the Starry Night comforting? Why does this dark painting soothe? Perhaps because it makes darkness beautiful, makes night safe, makes being awake in darkness feel less lonely, less frightening, less wrong. Vincent was often awake in darkness, locked in his room, unable to sleep, watching through barred windows, and he made that darkness glorious, made it worth witnessing, made it art. For insomniacs, for night workers, for anyone who knows 3 a.m. anxiety, the painting is companion, is validation, is comfort. You're not the only one awake. You're not the only one seeing darkness. Vincent watched with you, made darkness beautiful for you, painted your night sky. Tonight, if sleep eludes you, if darkness feels heavy, remember the painting. Remember that someone made darkness glorious. That night can be beautiful. That wakefulness has its own gifts. You're not fighting against natural order. You're participating in night's particular beauty. Vincent made this okay, made this paintable, made this worthy. Rest in this permission. Darkness is allowed. Night is holy. Your wakefulness is witnessed. Fact 70. The eternal present. In the starry night, time stops. The swirling continues forever. The stars glow eternally. The village sleeps endlessly. Nothing progresses. Nothing changes. Nothing resolves. This is the eternal present. The now that never ends. The moment stretched into infinity. Vincent captured something timeless. Something that exists outside linear time. When you look at the painting, you enter this eternal now. You step out of progress and into presence, out of becoming and into being. This is meditation. This is peace. This is a gift of art, that it creates spaces outside time, sanctuary from linear progression, moments that don't pass. Tonight, as you move toward sleep, you also move toward timelessness. In sleep, time stops. In dreams, past and future merge. In rest, you exist in eternal present. The painting shows you the space, invites you into it, welcomes you to step out of time's march, into simple presence, into just being. No yesterday to regret, no tomorrow to fear. Just now, just this, just swirling eternal stars. Just you, just presence, just peace. Settle into emotional truth now, into validated feeling, into darkness made beautiful, into struggle transformed, into the eternal present where stars swirl forever and you rest in peace. Fact 65. The memory of home. That village with its northern European church, those forms that belong to Vincent's Dutch childhood, speak of memory, of home, of roots. Vincent was far from home when he painted this, far from family, far from familiar. The village's longing made architecture, homesickness made paint. We all carry such villages, such memory places, such ghost homes we can visit only in imagination. As we age, as we wander, as life carries us from origins, these memory places become more precious, more luminous, more holy. They exist now partly in reality, partly in longing, partly in past, partly in wish. The painting honors this, doesn't shame the homesickness, doesn't mock the backward glance, allows the memory village its glow, its steeple, its warm windows. Tonight, visit your memory village, the place you came from, the home you carry, not to live there, you can't return. But to honor it, to let it glow in your night sky, to acknowledge its continued presence in your internal landscape. Home lives in you even when you've left it. The village glows even from distance. Fact 66. The validation of feeling. Vincent painted feelings as realities, emotions as facts, internal experience as truth. This was revolutionary. Traditional painting depicted external reality, what could be verified, what cameras would capture. But Vincent painted what couldn't be photographed, what only feeling sees, what only emotion knows. The sky doesn't objectively swirl, but subjectively, emotionally, experientially, it does. Vincent validated subjective experience, said, your feelings are real. Your internal reality matters. Your subjective truth is truth. This permission is gift. In a world that often dismisses feelings, that demands objective proof, that privilege is measurable over felt, the painting says, what you feel is real. Your experience counts. Your internal landscape is valid landscape. Tonight, believe your feelings. Trust your experience. You're not crazy for seeing what others don't. You're not wrong for feeling what instruments don't measure. You're human. You're alive. You're seeing truly, just subjectively. The painting validates you. Vincent says, I see it too. You're not alone in your vision. Fact 67. The beauty in struggle. The Starry Night was painted during struggle, created in confinement, made while suffering. Yet it's beautiful, transcendently beautiful. This is a teaching. That struggle can birth beauty. That pain can create glory. That suffering isn't wasted if transformed. Vincent transformed his pain, channeled his chaos, made his darkness luminous. You can do this too. Your struggles aren't meaningless. Your pain isn't purposeless. Your darkness can become your canvas. Not that suffering is good. It's not. Not that pain should be sought. It shouldn't. But that when suffering comes, when pain arrives, when darkness descends, it can be material, can be pained, can be transformed into something that helps, that heals, that illuminates. Vincent's suffering gave us the Starry Night. Your suffering can give birth to beauty too. Not someday when you're healed. Now, in the midst, while still hurting. The painting was made while wounded. So can your beauty be. Don't wait for wholeness to create. Create from your fragments. Beauty doesn't require perfect circumstances. It requires honest expression. Fact 68. The question of madness. Was Vincent mad when he painted this? Was this vision illness or insight? The question is wrongly framed. The swirling sky isn't hallucination. It's interpretation. It's emotional truth. It's subjective reality. But even if it were hallucination, even if it emerged from illness, does that diminish it? Does that make it less true? Less beautiful? Less valuable? Perhaps madness and genius aren't opposites. Perhaps they are neighbors. Perhaps the same sensitivity that brings suffering also brings vision. Perhaps the same mind that breaks also sees. This doesn't romanticize illness, doesn't make mental suffering desirable, but it does refuse to invalidate what emerges from struggle. Vincent's vision was real. His sky is true. His beauty is legitimate. Whatever its source, you don't have to be normal to be valid. Don't have to be conventionally sane to see truly. Your different perception might be your gift. Your unusual vision might be your offering. The world needs what you see, even if, especially if, you see differently. Tonight, honor your particular vision, your unique sight. Mad or sane, you see beauty. You see truth. That's enough. Fact 69. The comfort of darkness. Why do people find the starry night comforting? Why does this dark painting soothe? Perhaps because it makes darkness beautiful, makes night safe, makes being awake in darkness feel less lonely, less frightening, less wrong. Vincent was often awake in darkness, locked in his room, unable to sleep, watching through barred windows, and he made that darkness glorious, made it worth witnessing, made it art. For insomniacs, for night workers, for anyone who knows 3 a.m. anxiety, the painting is companion, is validation, is comfort. You're not the only one awake. You're not the only one seeing darkness. Vincent watched with you, made darkness beautiful for you, painted your night sky. Tonight, if sleep eludes you, if darkness feels heavy, remember the painting. Remember that someone made darkness glorious. That night can be beautiful. That wakefulness is its own gift. You're not fighting against natural order. You're participating in night's particular beauty. Vincent made this okay, made this paintable, made this worthy. Rest in this permission. Darkness is allowed. Night is holy. Your wakefulness is witnessed. Fact 70. The eternal present. In the starry night, time stops. The swirling continues forever. The stars glow eternally. The village sleeps endlessly. Nothing progresses. Nothing changes. Nothing resolves. This is the eternal present, the now that never ends, the moment stretched into infinity. Vincent captured something timeless, something that exists outside linear time. When you look at the painting, you enter this eternal now. You step out of progress and into presence, out of becoming and into being. This is meditation. This is peace. This is a gift of art, that it creates spaces outside time, sanctuary from linear progression, moments that don't pass. Tonight, as you move toward sleep, you also move toward timelessness. In sleep, time stops. In dreams, past and future merge. In rest, you exist in eternal present. The painting shows you the space, invites you into it, welcomes you to step out of time's march, into simple presence, into just being. No yesterday to regret, no tomorrow to fear. Just now, just this, just swirling eternal stars. Just you, just presence, just peace. Settle into emotional truth now, into validated feeling, into darkness made beautiful, into struggle transformed, into the eternal present where stars swirl forever and you rest in peace. Part 8. Science meets art. Now we explore where Vincent's intuition met scientific truth, where his artist's eye saw patterns that physics would later measure, where beauty and mathematics converge. Fact 71. The Turbulent Studies. In 2004, scientists at the Instituto Politécnico Nacional in Mexico studied the starry night swirling patterns. Using mathematical analysis, they discovered Vincent's brushstrokes matched the mathematics of turbulent flow. The patterns in his sky follow equations that describe fluid dynamics, turbulence in moving air, eddies in flowing water, the very structures that appear in hurricanes and whirlpools. Vincent intuited what scientists measure. His eyes saw what instruments detect. Without knowing the mathematics, he painted the math. This is stunning. This is genius of a different order. The artist is scientist. The painting as research. The brush as instrument of discovery. Your intuitions are like this too. Your hunches, your feelings, your artist's eye. They know things your rational mind doesn't yet understand. Trust them. Trust your non-analytical knowing. Science may catch up, may measure what you've already seen, but you don't need validation to trust your vision. Vincent didn't wait for fluid dynamics. He painted turbulence because he saw it. Paint what you see. Trust your eyes. Fact 72. The luminance patterns. Researchers analyzing the Starry Night's luminance, the brightness distribution across the canvas, found it matches patterns seen in nature. The way light decreases with distance. The way stars twinkle through atmosphere. The way bright objects radiate perceived light. Vincent captured optical phenomena accurately even while painting expressionistically. His exaggerated halos around stars. His radiating circles of light. These aren't arbitrary. They're how our eyes actually perceive bright light and darkness. The physiological reality of seeing. The optical truth of human vision. Vincent painted not what cameras capture, but what eyes experience. This is deeper realism, true truth. Cameras lie by being too accurate. Eyes tell truth by being subjective. The painting validates subjective experience as legitimate data. Your perceptions are real. What you see is true, even when it doesn't match objective measurement. Especially then. Vincent saw truly by seeing subjectively. So do you. Sleep tonight trusting your eyes, trusting your experience, trusting what you see even when others don't. Fact 73. The Kolmogorov scale. In turbulent flow, the Kolmogorov scale describes the smallest eddies, the tiniest swirls before energy dissipates into heat. Scientists found that Vincent's brushstrokes in the Starry Night include swirls at multiple scales, from large vortices down to small eddies, matching the cascade of scales in real turbulence. He painted not just big swirls, but little ones within bigger ones. Not just simple spirals, but complex hierarchical structures. He intuited self-similarity, fractals, the way patterns repeat at different scales. This is sophisticated understanding. This is seeing deeply into nature's structure. Vincent's troubled mind perceived patterns that conventional seeing misses. His different perception was gift, was insight, was truth. Your own different perceptions might be gifts too. Your unusual seeing might be deeper seeing. Don't assume conventional vision is correct vision. Don't trust normal over novel. Vincent saw eddies within eddies. What do you see that others miss? Trust it. Paint it. It might be truer than surface suggests. Fact 74. The astronomical debate. Astronomers have long debated what celestial object appear in the Starry Night. Is Venus positioned correctly for June 1889? Does the crescent moon's orientation match that month's lunar phase? Some claim astronomical accuracy. Others say Vincent painted from imagination, from emotional necessity rather than observational precision. The debate misses the point. The painting isn't astronomy textbook. It's not meant to map actual sky of specific night. It's meant to capture feeling of night, experience of stars, emotion of darkness punctuated by light. Whether astronomically accurate or not, it's emotionally true, spiritually accurate, experientially valid. You don't need to justify your truth with external validation. Your experience doesn't require astronomical confirmation. What you felt was real regardless of whether it matches objective record. Your truth is legitimate even when unmeasurable. The painting teaches this. Emotional accuracy matters more than factual precision. Sleep tonight knowing your feelings don't need fact-checking. They are valid on their own terms. Fact 7 to 5. The color theory. Vincent understood color theory deeply, knew that complementary colors intensify each other, that warm and cool create vibration, that value contrast creates depth. The Starry Night demonstrates sophisticated color knowledge. The yellow stars against blue-purple sky create maximum vibrancy. The orange moon against blue creates tension. The dark cypress against lighter sky creates spatial recession. Every color choice serves multiple purposes, creates multiple effects. This is mastery. This is knowledge deployed so fluently it looks spontaneous. But it's not accident. It's expertise made to look effortless. Your own expertise is like this. What looks easy to others is actually accumulated knowledge. Practice skill. Hard-won understanding deployed so smoothly it seems natural. Don't diminish your mastery. Don't call it luck or talent. It's work. It's learning. It's knowledge earned and applied. Vincent knew his colors. You know your craft. Honor this knowledge tonight. Sleep knowing you know more than you think. Your intuitive expertise is real expertise. Fact 7 to 6. The atmospheric perspective. The hills and the starry night demonstrate atmospheric perspective. The way distant objects appear lighter blue, less distinct than new objects. This is optical physics. Light scattering through atmosphere. Yet Vincent painted it while painting expressionistically, while exaggerating, while subjective. He maintained realistic spatial recession even while distorting everything else. This shows his discipline, his knowledge, his ability to keep one foot in observation while other explores imagination. This is balance. This is both art and thinking. This is refusing false choice between realistic and expressive. You need this balance too. Need to stay grounded while soaring. Need to remember facts while feeling freely. Need to honor reality while exploring possibility. Vincent did both. Painted expressively while respecting physics. Distorted while maintaining truth. You can do this too. Can be realistic and visionary, practical and imaginative, grounded and transcendent. Both are and, not either or. The painting models this, shows how to fly while staying tethered, how to dream while staying awake. Fact 7 to 7. The viewer's eye movement. Eye-tracking studies show how viewers' eyes move across the starry night. They enter through the cypress, sweep up into the sky, follow the swirling patterns, move from star to star, eventually descend to the village, then return to sky. The painting controls your gaze, choreographs your looking, leads you on specific journey. Vincent designed this movement, structured this path. Though it feels natural, feels like your choice, it's actually his composition guiding you, leading you where he wants you to go. This is subtle mastery. This is directing attention without forcing. This is influence that feels like freedom. You influence others this way too. More than you know. Your presence shapes others' experience. Your being choreographs others' responses, not through force, through invitation, through natural appeal, through beauty that draws gaze naturally. Don't underestimate your influence, your silent teaching, your wordless guidance, your choreographing movement in others' lives. The painting teaches how, through beauty, through invitation, through being so compelling that following feels like choosing. Fact 78. The edges of perception. Vincent painted at the edge of perception, where seeing becomes feeling, where observation becomes interpretation, where fact becomes poetry. This edge is where interesting things happen, where science meets art, where data becomes meaning, where measurement becomes mystery. Most people stay safely in center, in clear fact, in obvious observation. But Vincent lived at edges, where boundaries blur, where categories mix, where conventional seeing fails and new seeing begins. This is frontier. This is where discovery happens, where innovation emerges, where genius operates. You have edges too, places where your knowing exceeds your explaining, where your sensing outpaces your reasoning, where you perceive without understanding how. Don't retreat from these edges. Don't demand they become center. Edges are valuable precisely because they are edges. They are where growth happens, where expansion occurs, where you become more. Vincent painted from edges. You can live from yours. Sleep tonight at your edges, where consciousness meets unconsciousness, where waking meets dreaming, where known meets mystery. The painting was made there. You can rest there. Fact 7 to 9. The mathematical beauty. Mathematicians find beauty in the starry night. See elegance in its patterns. Appreciate its structure. This seems paradoxical. Math and art as opposites. Logic and emotion as opposed. But the painting proves they are not. Mathematical beauty is beauty. Logical structure is aesthetic. Pattern is pleasure. Ratio is right. Vincent didn't choose between math and emotion. He united them, made them serve each other. This is wholeness. This is integration. This is refusing to split into false opposites. You contain apparent opposites too. Logic and intuition, structure and spontaneity, plan and improvisation. These aren't fighting. They are collaborating. They are making you whole. The left brain and right brain work together. The systematic and spontaneous cooperate. Don't privilege one over other. Don't split yourself into warring factions. You're both. You're unified. You're whole even when you feel divided. The painting promises this. Math and art together. Science and emotion united. Structure and swirl cooperating. You're like this. Complex. Unified. Oh, sleep in your wholeness tonight. Fact 80. The data in paint. The Starry Night is data visualization. Vincent painted data about light, about atmosphere, about perception, about emotion. He visualized invisible patterns, made intangible tangible, gave form to formless. This is what all good data visualization does. Makes meaning visible, makes pattern graspable, makes complexity comprehensible. Vincent did this with paint long before computers, with brush long before algorithms, with eye long before instruments. You do data visualization too, whenever you make sense of chaos, whenever you find pattern in confusion, whenever you make visible what was invisible. You're doing what Vincent did, taking raw data of experience and making it meaningful, creating form from formlessness, structure from chaos. This is human gift, human glory, human purpose, to make meaning, to create order, to visualize truth. The painting shows you how, through beauty, through structure, through honest expression. Sleep tonight knowing your data visualizer, your meaning maker, your pattern finder. The chaos of your days becomes meaningful through your perceiving, through your shaping, through your creating. Vincent painted data. You live it. Rest now where science meets soul, where measurement meets meaning, where pattern meets poetry, where Vincent proved that truth has many faces, all beautiful. Part 8. Science meets art. Now we explore where Vincent's intuition met scientific truth, where as artist I saw patterns that physics would later measure, where beauty and mathematics converge. Fact 71. The Turbulence Studies. In 2004, scientists at the Instituto Politécnico Nacional in Mexico studied the Starry Night swirling patterns. Using mathematical analysis, they discovered Vincent's brushstrokes matched the mathematics of turbulent flow. The patterns in his sky follow equations that describe fluid dynamics. Turbulence in moving air, eddies in flowing water, the very structures that appear in hurricanes and whirlpools. Vincent intuited what scientists measure. His eyes saw what instruments detect. Without knowing the mathematics, he painted the math. This is stunning. This is genius of a different order. The artist is scientist. The painting is research. The brush is instrument of discovery. Your intuitions are like this too. Your hunches, your feelings, your artist's eye. They know things your rational mind doesn't yet understand. Trust them. Trust your non-analytical knowing. Science may catch up, may measure what you've already seen. But you don't need validation to trust your vision. Vincent didn't wait for fluid dynamics. He painted turbulence because he saw it. Paint what you see. Trust your eyes. Fact 72. The luminance patterns. Researchers analyzing the Starry Night's luminance, the brightness distribution across the canvas, found it matches patterns seen in nature. The way light decreases with distance, the way stars twinkle through atmosphere, the way bright objects radiate perceived light. Vincent captured optical phenomena accurately even while painting expressionistically. His exaggerated halos around stars, his radiating circles of light, these aren't arbitrary. They are how our eyes actually perceive bright light in darkness. The physiological reality of seeing, the optical truth of human vision. Vincent painted not what cameras capture, but what eyes experience. This is deeper realism, true truth. Cameras lie by being too accurate. Eyes tell truth by being subjective. The painting validates subjective experience as legitimate data. Your perceptions are real. What you see is true, even when it doesn't match objective measurement. Especially then. Vincent saw truly by seeing subjectively. So do you. Sleep tonight trusting your eyes, trusting your experience, trusting what you see even when others don't. Fact 73. The Kolmogorov Scale. In turbulent flow, the Kolmogorov scale describes the smallest eddies, the tiniest swirls before energy dissipates into heat. Scientists found that Vincent brushstrokes in the Starry Night include swirls at multiple scales, from large vortices down to small eddies, matching the cascade of scales in real turbulence. He painted not just big swirls, but little ones within bigger ones. Not just simple spirals, but complex hierarchical structures. He intuited self-similarity, fractals, the way patterns repeat at different scales. This is sophisticated understanding. This is seeing deeply into nature's structure. Vincent's troubled mind perceived patterns that conventional seeing misses. His different perception was gift, was insight, was truth. Your own different perceptions might be gifts too. Your unusual seeing might be deeper seeing. Don't assume conventional vision is correct vision. Don't trust normal over novel. Vincent saw eddies within eddies. What do you see that others miss? Trust it. Paint it. It might be truer than surface suggests. Fact 7 to 4. The astronomical debate. Astronomers have long debated what celestial object appear in the starry night. Is Venus positioned correctly for June 1889? Does the crescent moon's orientation match that month's lunar phase? Some claim astronomical accuracy. Others say Vincent painted from imagination, from emotional necessity rather than observational precision. The debate misses the point. The painting isn't astronomy textbook. It's not meant to map actual sky a specific night. It's meant to capture feeling of night, experience of stars, emotion of darkness punctuated by light. Whether astronomically accurate or not, it's emotionally true, spiritually accurate, experientially valid. You don't need to justify your truth with external validation. Your experience doesn't require astronomical confirmation. What you felt was real regardless of whether it matches objective record. Your truth is legitimate even when unmeasurable. The painting teaches this. Emotional accuracy matters more than factual precision. Sleep tonight knowing your feelings don't need fact-checking. They are valid on their own terms. Fact 7 to 5. The color theory. Vincent understood color theory deeply, knew that complementary colors intensify each other, that warm and cool create vibration, that value contrast creates depth. The starry night demonstrates sophisticated color knowledge. The yellow stars against blue-purple sky create maximum vibrancy. The orange moon against blue creates tension. The dark cypress against lighter sky creates spatial recession. Every color choice serves multiple purposes, creates multiple effects. This is mastery. This is knowledge deployed so fluently it looks spontaneous. But it's not accident. It's expertise made to look effortless. Your own expertise is like this. What looks easy to others is actually accumulated knowledge. Practice skill. Hard-won understanding deployed so smoothly it seems natural. Don't diminish your mastery. Don't call it luck or talent. It's work. It's learning. It's knowledge earned and applied. Vincent knew his colors. You know your craft. Honor this knowledge tonight. Sleep knowing you know more than you think. Your intuitive expertise is real expertise. Fact 7 to 6. The atmospheric perspective. The hills and the starry night demonstrate atmospheric perspective, the way distant objects appear lighter, blue, less distinct than new objects. This is optical physics. Light scattering through atmosphere. Yet Vincent painted it while painting expressionistically, while exaggerating, while subjective. He maintained realistic spatial recession even while distorting everything else. This shows his discipline, his knowledge, his ability to keep one foot in observation while other explores imagination. This is balance. This is both art and thinking. This is refusing false choice between realistic and expressive. You need this balance too. Need to stay grounded while soaring. Need to remember facts while feeling freely. Need to honor reality while exploring possibility. Vincent did both. Painted expressively while respecting physics. Distorted while maintaining truth. You can do this too. Can be realistic and visionary. Practical and imaginative. Grounded and transcendent. Both are and, not either or. The painting models this. Shows how to fly while staying tethered. How to dream while staying awake. Fact 7 to 7. The viewer's eye movement. Eye tracking studies show how viewers' eyes move across the starry night. They enter through the cypress, sweep up into the sky, follow the swirling patterns, move from star to star, eventually descend to the village, then return to sky. The painting controls your gaze, choreographs your looking. leads you on specific journey. Vincent designed this movement, structured this path. Though it feels natural, feels like your choice, it's actually his composition guiding you, leading you where he wants you to go. This is subtle mastery. This is directing attention without forcing. This is influence that feels like freedom. You influence others this way too. More than you know. Your presence shapes others' experience. Your being choreographs others' responses, not through force, through invitation, through natural appeal, through beauty that draws gaze naturally. Don't underestimate your influence, your silent teaching, your wordless guidance, your choreographing movement in others' lives. The painting teaches how, through beauty, through invitation, through being so compelling that following feels like choosing. Fact 78. The edges of perception. Vincent painted at the edge of perception, where seeing becomes feeling, where observation becomes interpretation, where fact becomes poetry. This edge is where interesting things happen, where science meets art, where data becomes meaning, where measurement becomes mystery. Most people stay safely in center, in clear fact, in obvious observation. But Vincent lived at edges, where boundaries blur, where categories mix, where conventional seeing fails and new seeing begins. This is frontier. This is where discovery happens, where innovation emerges, where genius operates. You have edges too, places where your knowing exceeds your explaining, where your sensing outpaces your reasoning, where you perceive without understanding how. Don't retreat from these edges. Don't demand they become center. Edges are valuable precisely because they are edges. They are where growth happens, where expansion occurs, where you become more. Vincent painted from edges. You can live from yours. Sleep tonight at your edges, where consciousness meets unconsciousness, where waking meets dreaming, where known meets mystery. The painting was made there. You can rest there. Fact 7 to 9. The mathematical beauty. Mathematicians find beauty in the starry night. See elegance in its patterns. Appreciate its structure. This seems paradoxical. Math and art as opposites. Logic and emotion as opposed. But the painting proves they are not. Mathematical beauty is beauty. Logical structure is aesthetic. Pattern is pleasure. Ratio is right. Vincent didn't choose between math and emotion. He united them, made them serve each other. This is wholeness. This is integration. This is refusing to split into false opposites. You contain apparent opposites too. Logic and intuition, structure and spontaneity, plan and improvisation. These aren't fighting. They're collaborating. They're making you whole. The left brain and right brain work together. The systematic and spontaneous cooperate. Don't privilege one over other. Don't split yourself into warring factions. You're both. You're unified. You're whole even when you feel divided. The painting promises this. Math and art together. Science and emotion united. Structure and swirl cooperating. You're like this. Complex. Unified. Whole. Sleep in your wholeness tonight. Fact 80. The data in paint. The Starry Night is data visualization. Vincent painted data about light, about atmosphere, about perception, about emotion. He visualized invisible patterns, made intangible tangible, gave form to formless. This is what all good data visualization does. Makes meaning visible, makes pattern graspable, makes complexity comprehensible. Vincent did this with paint long before computers. with brush long before algorithms, with eye long before instruments. You do data visualization too. Whenever you make sense of chaos, whenever you find pattern in confusion, whenever you make visible what was invisible, you're doing what Vincent did, taking raw data of experience and making it meaningful, creating form from formlessness, structure from chaos. This is human gift, human glory, human purpose, to make meaning, to create order, to visualize truth. The painting shows you how, through beauty, through structure, through honest expression. Sleep tonight knowing your data visualizer, your meaning maker, your pattern finder. The chaos of your days becomes meaningful through your perceiving, through your shaping, through your creating. Vincent painted data. You live it. Rest now where science meets soul, where measurement meets meaning, where pattern meets poetry, where Vincent proved that truth has many faces, all beautiful. Part 9. The Journey to Fame. We trace now the painting's path from obscurity to adoration, how what Vincent considered a failure became the world's treasure, how time reveals what the present cannot see. Fact 81. The Silent Years. For decades after Vincent's death, the Starry Night hung in relative obscurity, known to collectors, appreciated by some, but not yet iconic, not yet beloved, not yet the Starry Night as we know it today. It waited, quiet, patient, gathering power in silence. This is how many important things begin, in silence, in waiting, in patience, not immediately recognized, not instantly celebrated, but gathering force, building meaning, waiting for their moment. You're in your silent years, perhaps, your waiting period, your time of unrecognized value. This doesn't mean you lack worth. It means your time hasn't yet come. The painting waited 50 years for true recognition, 70 years to become icon. Can you wait? Can you trust that value doesn't require immediate recognition? That worth persists through silence? Tonight, rest in your waiting, in your silent accumulation of meaning. Your time will come. The painting promises this. What's truly valuable eventually gets recognized, eventually gets seen, eventually finds its moment. Wait, trust, rest. Fact 82. The post-war recognition. After World War II, the Starry Night's fame exploded. Perhaps the world, having witnessed such darkness, such chaos, such suffering, found comfort in Vincent's beautiful rendering of turbulence, found hope in his transformation of pain into glory. The painting spoke to post-war consciousness, said, darkness can be beautiful, suffering can create meaning, chaos can be choreographed. The timing was right. The world was ready. The painting found its moment. Context matters. Timing matters. The same work ignored in one era becomes essential in another. Don't blame yourself if your gifts aren't received yet. Don't assume rejection means worthlessness. Perhaps the world isn't ready. Perhaps your context hasn't arrived. Perhaps your moment waits ahead. The painting teaches patience, teaches trust in timing beyond your control. You can't force your moment. You can only prepare for it, create for it, trust it will come. Sleep tonight trusting your timing, trusting your moment exists, trusting recognition awaits even if delayed. The world will be ready. When it is, you'll be there. Fact 83. The museum's treasure. When MoMA acquired the Starry Night in 1941, they knew they'd obtained something special. But they couldn't have predicted it would become perhaps their most valuable possession, their most recognized treasure, their defining work. The painting made MoMA as much as MoMA preserved the painting. They grew together, elevated each other, became inseparable in public consciousness. This is partnership. This is mutual elevation. This is rising together. You don't rise alone. You rise with your context, with your community, with those who hold your value, who support your gift, who provide platform for your expression. MoMA gave the Starry Night home. The painting gave MoMA identity. Both benefited. Both became more. Look for these partnerships, these mutual elevations, these contexts that let you shine while you help them glow. You don't need to succeed alone. You need to find your MoMA, your context, your home that values what you offer. The painting found its place. You will too. Sleep trusting your place exists. Your museum waits. Your home calls. Fact 84. The popular culture embrace. Don McLean's song Vincent in 1971 brought the Starry Night to millions who'd never visit MoMA. Starry, starry night, paint your palette blue and gray. The song interpreted the painting, added layer of meaning, created bridge between visual art and popular consciousness. This is democratization. This is translation. This is making accessible what might seem exclusive. The song didn't diminish the painting. It expanded its reach, invited new viewers, created new appreciation. Your work needs translators too, needs interpreters, needs those who make your complexity accessible, who build bridges to your depth. Don't resent simplification. Don't dismiss popularization. It serves. It spreads. It invites. The painting reached millions through McLean's song, reached people who might never have engaged with visual art. This is success, not degradation. Your gifts deserve wide audience, deserve translation, deserve popularization. Don't hold them precious and inaccessible. Let them spread. Let them reach. Let them touch whoever they can, however they can. The painting teaches its generosity. Fact 85. The digital age. The internet age has made the Starry Night infinitely reproducible, endlessly shareable, constantly present. It appears in memes and on desktops, in emails and on phones. Some lament this ubiquity, this constant presence, this saturation, but perhaps it's fitting. Perhaps a painting about eternal presence should be eternally present. Perhaps a work about infinite sky should achieve infinite distribution. The digital age hasn't diminished the painting. It's fulfilled its purpose, made beauty constantly available, made inspiration always accessible, made Vincent's vision part of daily visual landscape. You live in digital age too. Your presence is reproducible. Your gifts are shareable. Your influence is infinitely distributable. This is not loss. This is multiplication. This is abundance. One voice can reach millions. One gift can touch thousands. One presence can ripple endlessly. Don't fear digital multiplication. Embrace it. Use it. Let your gift spread in whatever medium works. The painting adapted to new age. You can too. Fact 86. The tattoo phenomenon. Countless people bear the Starry Night on their bodies, tattooed in ink, made permanent, carried always. This is ultimate commitment, ultimate claiming, ultimate making personal. They love the painting so much they wear it. Become walking galleries, living museums, mobile shrines to Vincent's vision. This moves beyond appreciation to identification, beyond admiration to incorporation. The painting becomes part of them, part of their self-expression, part of their identity. What do you love enough to wear? What truth would you tattoo? What beauty would you make permanent? The painting inspires this level of devotion, this depth of claiming. This isn't casual appreciation. This is serious love. This is choosing beauty as identity. Tonight, consider what you'd wear permanently. What truth defines you enough to mark your skin? This is what matters to you. This is your starry night, your North Star, your permanent truth. Honor it, claim it, wear it proudly even if invisibly. The painting inspired literal marking. You're marked by your truths too, by what you love, by what you claim. Sleep wearing your truths tonight. Fact 8 to 7, the educational standard. The Starry Night appears in art history textbooks worldwide, in curricula across continents. Students study it, analyze it, write papers about it. It's become educational standard, teaching tool, reference point, introduction to post-impressionism, to expressionism, to Vincent, to the idea that art can express internal reality. Millions of students encounter it before encountering most other art. It shapes visual literacy, forms aesthetic education, creates shared vocabulary. This is cultural power. This is influence at civilizational level. The painting teaches millions to see differently, to value subjective vision, to honor emotional truth. You teach too, maybe not millions. Maybe you're dozens, you're hundreds, your students, whether formal or informal, those who learn from your example, from your choices, from your being, your educational standard for someone, someone's reference point, someone's introduction to possibility. Don't underestimate your teaching, your influence, your shaping of others' seeing. The painting taught generations. You teach your generation, your moment, your people. Sleep knowing your teacher, whether or not you have classroom, whether or not you have title. You teach by living, by being, by choosing beauty. Fact 88, the pilgrimage economy. The Starry Night generates economic activity. Tourism to MoMA. Hotel bookings, restaurant meals, flights to New York. People travel to see it, spend money to stand before it. The painting creates economy, supports jobs, generates wealth. Not its purpose, but its effect. Beauty creates abundance. Inspiration generates prosperity. Meaning makes money, not as goal but as byproduct. This is how valuable things work. They create value in multiple dimensions: economic, social, cultural, spiritual. The painting enriches in every sense. You create value too. Maybe not economic directly, maybe not measurable obviously, but you create wealth in broader sense. Your presence enriches. Your gifts generate abundance. Your being creates value that ripples into domains you never see. Economic, emotional, spiritual, social. You're more valuable than you measure, more generative than you track, more enriching than you know. The painting's value exceeds its price. Your value exceeds your salary, your paycheck, your measurable worth. You create wealth beyond money. Sleep knowing your true value, your real worth, your actual richness. Fact 8 to 9, the virtual reality experience. New technologies let people enter the Starry Night. Virtual reality experiences, immersive installations, walking through Vincent's painted world. standing in the swirling sky, touching the cypress, exploring the village. Technology makes metaphor literal, makes imagination physical, makes the impossible possible. You can now go where Vincent went, see what he saw, experience his vision from inside. This is new intimacy, new understanding, new way of knowing art. Your experiences deserve this kind of emotion too, this depth of engagement, this quality of attention. Don't settle for surface, for quick glance, for casual encounter. Immerse, engage deeply, enter fully, whether in art or life or relationship or work. Virtual reality offers technological immersion. You can offer attentional immersion, full presence, complete engagement, deep seeing. The painting now offers this through technology. You can offer it through attention, through care, through committed presence. Sleep tonight having fully entered your day, having immersed in your experience, having been deeply present. The painting rewards emotion. So does life. Fact 90, the eternal question. After all this fame, all this attention, all this analysis and interpretation and reproduction, one question remains. What would Vincent think? Would he understand? Would he be pleased? Would he recognize his painting in what it's become? We cannot know. He died not knowing, died thinking himself failure, died believing his work will be forgotten. The irony is almost unbearable. Almost. But perhaps it teaches us humility, teaches us we cannot judge our own work's fate, cannot predict our own legacy, cannot measure our own meaning. Vincent couldn't see, couldn't know, couldn't predict. Neither can you. You don't know what will matter, don't know what will last, don't know what will mean something to someone sometime. So stop trying to judge. Stop trying to predict. Stop trying to measure meaning before time does its work. Just create. Just express. Just offer. Let time sort the rest. Let the world decide meaning. Let the future measure worth. Your job is making, not judging, is expressing, not evaluating, is offering, not controlling reception. Vincent made. The world received. The painting lives. You make. The world receives. Your work lives. This is enough. Sleep in this enough. This sufficiency. This completion. The painting lives. You live. This is enough. Feel the journey complete now. From silence to celebration. From obscurity to light. From Vincent's window to the world's heart, and know your journey continues too, unfolding in time's patient hands.